This is To the Rescue Authentic Networking. I'm Jennifer Johnson, Executive Director of TTR Networking and a relationship marketing coach. This show is all about the authentic business networking, relationship building, and the success strategies used by our members to grow their businesses and give back to local nonprofits. Be sure to stay up to date. Subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the bell to get notifications of new episodes. And please visit our website, www.ttrnetworking.com. Now, on with the show.
Welcome to our show, To the Rescue Authentic Networking. We are so glad you are here today. I am Nicole Williams, along with my co-hosts Don Evans Casey and Jennifer Johnson. Jennifer, what's happening?
Well, you know what? Things are good. The sun is shining. It's Friday here. I mean, they're not going to see this or hear from us on Friday when they get this, but it is a good thing. We have a great guest. We're going to get right to our guest. We have Lisa Bishop, who's actually a realtor with Century 21 Scheetz, Century 21 here. You and your husband have been residents of Fishers or Noblesville, which is, we're kind of outside of Indianapolis, right? I mean, I usually say that. For the last 20 years, you said? Boy, that's pretty awesome. She's in one of our TTR groups, Dawn's group. I'm looking right at you, Nicole, and I called you Dawn.
I'm the other Dawn.
I know, but I mean, look at, there's obvious differences in the two of you. Look at this. But Lisa Bishop is in charge of a women's prison ministry as well, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about that, right? And your husband does the men's version, yes. Right? Wow.
That's correct.
We are really glad you are here today, Lisa. Actually, you and I've known each other for a few years too. Man, how quickly time flies. I guess really we want to just start by asking tell us a little bit about who you are. I mean, I've already said a few things, but what you do and how is the state of all this COVID-19? How's this, this affecting your business, good and bad? Because I mean, we're authentic here. So tell us what we need to know.
Yeah, so as you said, my name is Lisa Bishop. I am a residential real estate agent with Century 21 Scheetz. I'm in the Fishers office, and what I do is I just help people all around Indianapolis and those that are relocating to the area. I help them find houses that fit their needs and their desires in all phases or milestones of their lives. So you've got your people that are first-time home buyers. You've got people that are growing their family, maybe just married, maybe they received a job promotion, they're moving up. Maybe the in-laws are having to move in, or the kids are all gone, now the people are downsizing. And then unfortunately, there's always reasons of divorce or of death, unfortunately. But those reasons that I help people buy homes are the same reasons I help people sell their homes. So as far as the pandemic goes, honestly, we were deemed essential from the very beginning. So business never really stopped for us. We kept showing homes throughout it. I think what happened was the business became more purposeful. And what I mean by that is there's obviously, no matter what's going on in the world, there's going to be people that need to buy a home or sell a home. Maybe their lease is coming up, or, maybe they're moving. They have to be in a certain area. So that makes it more purposeful as far as a reason to be out looking for a home. What I feel like what we lost when the pandemic hit was we lost those looky-loos. The people that just wanted to go out and look at houses, and they really weren't ready to purchase a home. They just kind of wanted to maybe fill their Sunday up or have something to do, or like, hey, let's just go see what's on the market right now. So, which is not a bad thing, but when they come back, it'll be good to have them again too. I'm the type of person that if I am wanting something, then if I am involved or being a part of that, and I'm seeing, like if I were going to move and I'm seeing houses, then that's only going to motivate me more to want to move, you know. So even though someone might be considered like a looky lure, that doesn't mean they won't catch the bug when they walk into the beautiful home that they're like, oh my gosh, I could have all this, you know. So I kind of appreciate those people, you know. So, and I guess how how I was really affected through this was our office was closed and I started working from home. And I actually really like it. So we had an office in our house, which is where I'm right now. And it was kind of just like our junk room in a way, you know, never clean. We just had random stuff in here, kept the doors closed. And finally, it gave me a purpose to redo it and make it my office. And now, like, I don't know if I care to go back to the office other than to see my coworkers that I absolutely adore and miss. But I've got whiteboards surrounding me, you know? So I've really got my info in front of me now. I've got my people in front of me that I'm doing searches for or whatever. So this seems to be a better setup than just sitting at a desk, you know, out in the open in an office. This is definitely more adapt to what I need. So, and that is all of that.
Well, and you know what, I was just thinking, and I know you've got a question, but well, go ahead, ask the question, because I think I actually might have something that could add something to that. Go ahead, Nicole.
Okay. Well, Lisa, we're so excited to have you here. And I get the honor of being in the same group every Thursday. So it's an extra treat. One of our biggest values, I think, and it's neat because it goes unspoken in our groups, but authentic. You know, authentic is so important to us. And it's more to me than like a respect, you know, being genuine. You know, what does authentic mean to you and your business?
Yeah, so being authentic is basically me just being who I am, being myself, and caring about other people, as well as being honest at all times. So with me, what you see is what you get, pretty much. And when I show you a home, I point out the flaws. So it probably doesn't make me the best realtor in the sense that I'm not a quick closer. You know, some agents may say, okay, you can see 4 homes and we're done, pick one. You know, with me, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to find a home. We are going to go through it together. And if we see 100 homes, you know, I guess we'll see 100 homes. But if I see something wrong with the home, I'm going to point it out. I'm not going to have someone buy a house that they're going to regret, because this is the biggest thing they're going to do. I'm not going to do that to people. To me, the commission I make is just the icing. Like seriously, my goal is to service you and make you happy with what you find, you know. So I'll stick with you as long as it takes for you to find that house that you absolutely want. So.
When we were talking about authentic, though, I was when you look at everybody's backgrounds, you see, and I watched or listened to a podcast the other day. I was looking, we always ask our guests, you know, what do you think, what's authentic? And when you look at the background, it's very much telling what somebody's authentic self is. Right behind Lisa, do you see what's right behind her, right on her side of her? And I don't know if you see that, but you probably do, Lisa, but it's the cross. And that, I know you're going to tell us about the ministry that you're part of, but I was thinking about that as you're saying authentic. And on that same podcast, they were talking about that what you do and say, what you do and say agrees with your actions. You know, that's what authentic is. It's being, and that may, you know, because people sometimes in different worlds, I mean, in their business world, they might say one thing and then they go to their personal life and they do something else. You know what I'm saying? Or they put something out on social media that's totally contradicting or, you know, vice versa. Then they're out in public places doing things that totally disagree. I would just say that I look at Lisa's background there, and she's got, and you know, that is her. That's, I mean, that's how I know. So take it away, Don. I just wanted to make sure that was, because if you look at the backgrounds, there's a whole science behind what we've all got around us, you know, and it's cool. Take it away.
Okay,
Don.
so disregard my clutter.
I know, it's like she's got a star
Clutter.
behind her. I can see the star. So, she's a star, but take it away, Don. You're good.
Thank you, thank you. Well, Lisa, I'm so interested in finding out more. It's really a pleasure to have you here today. I'm listening to you share that. So you're helping both buyers and sellers, right?
Yeah.
Tell me, how do you generally attract new clients, both from the buyers and sellers side? How do they get to meet the authentic Lisa, the realtor? What do you usually do, or what do you participate in that gets new clients and contacts to your business?
Yeah, so my favorite way is referrals. Because if you refer me, that's the best compliment you can give me. And so the way I treated you is how I'm going to treat your family and friends. So referrals to me is number one, because for one, I'm hardworking. I take pride in what I do, and I want the best for people. So huge for me. As far as like other ways that I can get business, I can do that through for sale by owners. You know, I try to find people that are trying to sell their home themselves, see if I can help them out. People that had their home on the market, but for some reason they couldn't sell it. You know, maybe it was priced too high, maybe their agent didn't represent them very well. I don't know the reason, but all I know is me and what I do to get things done. And so, you know, I try to allow people to understand what I could do for them. And then there's always my sphere of influence that I have, that I can pull from. Now, honestly, I am probably the worst at marketing to my sphere. I do not put myself in front of them as much as everybody thinks I should, because for one, I don't want them to think I'm using them for their business. You know, I want them to use me, but I don't want to harass them and make them feel obligated to use me or any of that. But I can say it's a double-edged sword, because then I don't market to them as much as I should. But then when they don't use me, it breaks my heart, you know. And then when they call me later after they've picked another realtor and it's not going so well, and they call me for help, you know, at that point, it kind of hurts me even more. It's a double stab, because now I'm like, okay, so basically you didn't come to me to help you buy your home, but now you're in a jam and I'm good enough to try to get you out of your jam, you know? So strangers don't hurt me, but my friends and people like that, they tend to, you know, hurt me. And I don't think anybody ever does it on purpose by any means, you know? So, I don't necessarily blame them. You don't buy a house every day. It's like, what, every 10 years? So it's not like everybody's familiar with the laws of real estate or anything like that. But so that's why I really try to work on my referrals, getting referrals. And I'm so appreciative of anybody that refers me that I've worked with in the past.
You know, yeah, and I know referrals come from the source. You were saying your spheres of influence, but you're also a member of our TTR, which kind of,
Totally.
what did you say, Lisa? I'm sorry.
I said totally, yes.
So, oh, you're a good lady. Totally. She's totally a member. Well, but you know what that is? And I know you well enough to understand why you say you don't want to market your people, but it's not necessarily, I think that's what the networking groups are about too, though, is you don't go in, and if people do go to a group, whether it's TTR or not, it's just whatever, you're really building the relationship. So you're a face that they see. And that's the same thing with staying in front of your people. It's just a face that they trust. They do trust you because they're calling you later after,
Oh yeah.
you know, and you probably got numerous stories you can tell about that. And that happens. I mean, we know that happens. We all probably have been in that boat where somebody goes and they do, you know, depending on what industry. But I know that I kind of met, not kind of, I met you through, we had already started the TTR, and one of our members referred me to you for some things. And I haven't bought a house with you, but we've done other things, and you've been part of the network. So you don't have to say, has there been any stories about TTR that you could say? I mean, the connection to me with you was a story I would tell people, because we didn't even end up doing, home or real estate, but I think we've been part of each other's circle for a while as a part of that. So any stories you could tell? I mean, yeah.
Within TTR. So so I've had a couple of the people that have reached out to me asking for assistance. Honestly, I'm going to kind of throw Nicole into
Under
this.
the bus?
So not under the bus. She's actually on the bus.
Yes, I'm on the bus.
She's not driving it, but she's on it. She's in the front seat.
She's a good one. She's a good driver.
Yeah, she is. But so she had, when she came to our group, which was what, 3 months ago, somewhere around there. So I've been through it 4. It doesn't seem like it's been really long. Pandemic days, I guess, is what we'll call it.
That's what it is.
Pandemic days. When she came to the group, we met about a month or so ago. She invited me to be a part of a vendor for the Indie Bridal.
Oh,
And to me, that's probably the best, because of the fact that, you know, you always brainstorm in your business, like, where can I find clients? What can I do? You know, and the whole getting married aspect, you know, those people typically are either going to get an apartment right after they get married, or they're going to buy a house, or it's going to be a relationship that has come together, and now maybe her house is too small for their whole family, and they're going to sell that home and buy another home. So this connection with Indie Bridal, I'm super excited about, because that's something I've thought about, you know, for a couple of years now, that I'd like to kind of be in front of people that are about to get married. So that's a wonderful connection. I appreciate. Nicole,
Well,
I appreciate you
welcome.
for
I'm
that.
excited. Well, with the Indie Bride to be, we connect brides. It's like a resource for brides and bridal families, you know, and grooms to come and, you know, find things, learn about things, whether it's DIYs or, you know, resources and vendors. So Lisa and I had a conversation, and, you know, and yeah, you know, we are just so excited. We're just, this weekend, I would say by tomorrow, you're going to be up on our site. So she completed, we're so excited, because, you know, the house, I mean, we need realtors, you know, to help guide them. And
definitely need realtors like Lisa that are understanding that it is more than, I mean, I think anybody who does the networking, and you already said it, you know, you've got long-term clients and stuff. These young people that just maybe are dealing with, not only are they're excited about getting married, but now they got the wedding situation with the pandemic, they're dealing with that. They don't need to be freaking out about their house need, or they need to know that they've got somebody who's been doing it for a while and is willing to be patient and wait for them. So I think that's a great connection. That's a good story. That's a wonderful story.
And Indy is bride to be is honored to have you. So thank you.
So I appreciate it.
That's kind of cool. So I guess the other, not kind of, that's really cool. I'm always happy to hear those stories. But the, you know, the end of that question really is then, TTR has been good to you, you know, and I think you've made some other contacts too. But if, you know, I can say it, I kind of sit on the top of the pile and say, look, these are the great people that are involved. And if anybody's listening, you got Lisa, Nicole, and Dawn. These are some of the people. And we've basically, everybody we've interviewed on these shows has been mentioned. So if somebody wants to go back and so you don't even have to tell us, but I mean, just there's a common, the question is, did you find anything about TTR that attracted you? I think probably because like everybody else. I bullied you in. Once you got in, it's like, I know she's supposed to be a part of this. Somehow she's got to be a part. Do you have anything to add? I'm sorry, I kind of jumped.
No, you're absolutely good. Yeah, it's funny how I even got into TTR. So I met you about 4 years ago, I would say.
Yep.
And then you got me into send out cards, which is a great product. And then from there, you wanted a Fisher's group. So you asked if I would assist a person to help them start it up. We did that, but then that kind of fell through when he decided to stop that job, and then we lost that facility. And then you got me over to Carmel. So that's kind of how I got into it. And yeah, I mean, I love the people that are in the group. They're all very good people. I can't wait to get back in person with them. It's just not the same being on a Zoom. Nothing's the same about this, but you know, at least you can see the people, and you know, we've got some we have an amazing group, I would say. So that keeps me in it. So yeah, I love, you know, being able to give out help as well to them.
Yeah.
So,
well, I was on, yeah, and I think that's the thing. People who, you know, one of our messages in this networking thing, doing the video cast we're doing is just let people know you don't have to join TTR, but you need to join somewhere where you've got relationships, because I think people don't realize everybody knows hundreds of people, and you build that relationship so that Dawn and Nicole and Lisa will be likely to introduce you to somebody else that might need your services. They don't need you right this minute, but if you build that relationship. So that's cool. Thank you for saying that. I'm excited. And yeah, I always think when we have a guest on here, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I did bug them for two years, or I wouldn't let them go too far away. But I think there's a certain quality about our networking members, and it's not all me, but I think there's just things. If you didn't want to come back, you didn't have to, but you came back. So there you go.
yeah, I'm done. No.
Oh no, we're in trouble. Okay, Dawn. Dawn, you better ask her the next question.
All right. Well, I know the proof is in the pudding. There's certainly the reason that we come, that we show up, that we test it out, but there's also a wonderful reason that we stay. It's there. And more than just getting referrals for our business, we have the opportunity to develop these good relationships to increase our circles of influence, to develop these partnerships that become meaningful, mutually meaningful. And we don't only help ourselves, we help each other. We help others around us that need assistance. So my next question deals with, you know, one of the tenets, one of the parts of TTR networking that we are all very big on is giving back to the community and assisting nonprofits. So we not only want to thrive ourselves, but we want our communities around us to thrive too. Can you share with us, Lisa, what types of projects and which nonprofits you individually choose to support, and that your networking group has come together, partnered to support, and what has the impact been of those things that you either contributed to, volunteered with, etc.?
I gotcha. Okay. So one thing I want to say I do love about TTR is I love the fact that a portion of what we pay goes to helping our community. And I don't know if all networking groups do this. I've never heard it before. They very well could, but TTR is the only networking group I've been a part of, and I feel like that's something special to this group, and I really like that. So within our networking group, the Carmel Networking Partners, last year we gave money. Jennifer came to us and said, this is how much money you have, and who would you like to support? So I believe, Jennifer, if I'm not mistaken, we supported, is it the Secret Families of Hamilton County?
Okay, cool.
So that was pretty cool to be able to donate money to them. And that wasn't pulling more money out of our purses or wallets. That was simply money that, you know, instead of TTR taking for themselves or doing whatever with, that was, you know, a giving back. And that's pretty cool to me. Along with that, our group decided we were going to do a quarterly go out there to the community and help out as a group. So we did the first quarter, we did go out to a church in Indianapolis, and it was a Sunday morning before church started, and we went there and helped feed the homeless. And there was probably maybe about 7 of us from our group that did that. And that was, you know, fun to interact with the others in a way that we don't typically do, you know, instead of sitting around a breakfast table eating at La Peeps and just talking, we were actually coming together to help the community, and that was pretty fulfilling, I felt. And then aside from that, I'm involved in 2 organizations that really speak to my heart. The first one is Fountains of Hope, and this is a gentleman that goes to like Haiti, he goes to Africa, all of those countries that need water, clean water, and he puts in clean water systems for them. So my husband and I have been a part of that. We've not done a mission trip with him yet. We've talked about doing Africa, and hopefully we'll do that with him soon, but obviously he hasn't been traveling either lately. So that's a pretty remarkable thing right there, that he can help these people instead of having to send the women out a mile to walk and get water, and then in the dangers of doing that, you know, and then carry these big old things back. It's nice that now they have fresh, clean water in their little community. The one that it really tugs on my heartstrings that I'm majorly involved in is called Kairos. It's Kairos. This is a prison ministry, and if you're familiar with, there's organizations called the Great Banquet, A Walk to Emmaus, Chrysalis. If you're familiar with those are outside organizations that you and me, we can go to, and it's a 3.5-day weekend where we basically go and we just hear talks and we just grow our relationship with God. We leave our phones at home, we're on God's time, and it's just amazing. Women minister to women, these talks, these women that you think have their lives together, have maybe been molested, have maybe been in drugs, and you just see things in people that are standing up there giving a speech, and you think they're absolutely perfect, and then you find out they've had maybe a completely different background than you ever assumed, and how they found Jesus after that, and it's so emotional. So what we do with Kairos is it's basically the exact same program. We go into the prison. I go into IWP, the Indiana Women's Prison on Girl School Road, and it's a level 4, meaning it's everyone. It's murderers, it's you name it, they're all there, you know, the worst of the worst. But when you go in there, so we go in there on a Thursday night to meet them. So we go in our first night like at 6, and they start coming into the gym, and they're coming in, walking in like all tough, all hard, like you're not going to break me. I'm only here for the amazing food you're going to serve us that we hear about. You know, their intentions might not be about God. It's, you know, kind of like they want to do it to put something new into their routine, their daily life of doing nothing. You know, this is a 3.5-day kind of weekend thing for them. They want to do it because we feed them real homemade food, you know, and we give them amazing cookies that they have at their disposal all freaking day long. So they come in all tough. By the end of the weekend, these women are crying. They don't want us to leave. They want to hug us, but we can't hug them. It's a no-touch facility. So, you know, we'll do like a little pinky, you know, this is a hug to them, or you do this. you just see God the whole weekend. You see how it's changing them.
Yes.
It gives me goosebumps
That
just
is
talking about it.
awesome.
It's so powerful.
Thank you.
And the women walk away with finally like finding that that new sense of forgiveness to themselves, forgiveness to others that, you know, in their opinion, ratted them out, that sent them there. Forgiveness for the sin that they did. They finally know that they are loved by God, that no matter what they've done, they are forgiven. And God loves them as for who they are, and nothing that they do will ever stop him from loving them. And then it's just, oh my gosh, it's just amazing. So then what we do after that 3-day weekend, so then like on Saturday, Friday and Saturday, we go back from 6 in the morning to 8 p.m. And then we stay at a hotel just outside the prison, a mile away or so. And then, you know, we do this and go back on Sunday, and there's some really cool events that we do for them that just are, it's crazy. So we have women that will give talks. We have chapel time. They get their table time after a talk. They sit and talk about what the talk was about, and they make a poster as a team, as a table team. And then we let them present that to us, you know, and what that means to them. So it's a way that they digest what the talk was about and relate it to their lives. So very, very touching. And then we go back after that weekend, we go back once a month for, it's considered their church time. And we go back now as their guests, and we listen to them. They have 2 talks. And then, you know, the groups they sit in like groups of 8, and then they just talk about it. And then we have one person will go in on a Tuesday, and that is like their prayer time. It's called prayer and share. And so we just sit there and supervise, you know, that way the guards don't have to take away from their daily responsibilities. It's our program. So we just go in there and sit, you know, while they talk, and then we just leave. But I am 100% telling you, I feel safer in prison than I do outside in this world. Like I would go into prison anytime and hang out. I mean, as weird as that sounds, like before I did this ministry, I thought, why do they get TVs? You know, they do nothing, and I had to pay all these taxes and all this stuff. Now I am like, I love you. You know, I've maybe been one mistake away from being where they are. You know, we all made mistakes as teenagers growing up. We all did things we shouldn't have done. Any of us that could have happened in a different way, and we might be in their same shoes, you know. So I don't see them as the bad people I did before I got to know them. Now I see them as God's children. I see them as people that made a mistake. Some crimes are worse than others, but I still forgive them. I still love them. I'm still going to support them. And, you know, I just want them to know how loved they are. And we do our best to let them understand that just because they're in there, they're not forgotten. You know, they're still important to people, and they might not feel it, and they might feel like all they have is a number and that's who they are. That's not who they are to us, and that's especially not who they are to God. They have a name, they have a life, they have a purpose. And
Wow,
it's touching.
awesome,
Love it.
Lisa. You know, we are business professionals, but we are humans that care.
Yeah.
And definitely, you know, we get to be our full authentic selves and, you know, embrace all of that. So thanks so much for sharing that.
Yeah,
That's
you're welcome.
wonderful.
And if you ever want to volunteer, please, you'll love it.
Okay.
It's so rewarding. We'll take any
Great.
volunteer. Just reach out to me.
Yeah. Awesome.
Will
I'll
do.
get you on team.
Well, we need to know one thing, Nicole. Take it away. Your question.
Oh gosh, most importantly, how do we find you? How does our audience contact you to learn more about how you can help us?
Well, I actually have a couple of ways to tell you. So if you're watching this video, then I would say the easiest way to get all my information is go to www.totherescuein.com. And then once you go there, go into the networking, and then go down to, once you get to that page, go to the Carmel Networking Partners. open it up and scroll down just a tad bit, and you're going to see me with all my information.
You
That's
are.
number
Isn't
one.
she
Love
awesome?
it. Love it.
I know it is pretty good.
Yeah, it's the
I didn't know
easiest
what
way to find me.
Yeah, I didn't know what
So-
I was going to say. But then you probably have, can you be found on the Century 21 and all that kind of stuff too, probably? But-
Yeah, I can be found on the Century 21 website. You'd have to go to the Fishers. There's a lot of different offices, so you'd have to definitely go into the Fishers one.
Well, then forget it. Just go to TTR.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Yeah,
do I really
TTRs,
want
one
you to
stop.
see all those other agents just to find me?
Yeah,
No.
no.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad
So,
somebody,
Love it.
go ahead.
I'm also on Facebook. I have a Facebook page. You could go to, it's really easy, Lisa Bishop Realtor. That's my Facebook page, and I'll make it even easier if you want to go to my website. Go to www.lisabishoprealtor.com,
There
and
you
that
go.
is my
Love
page.
it.
Yeah,
That's
or
Girl.
you can call me directly about Kairos or about a house at 317-690-2643.
All right,
If you
cool.
can't find me in any of those ways, then it wasn't meant for you and I to work together.
No, if they contact me, I'll connect them.
There you go. That works too.
That does work. Okay, good. Who asked
Awesome.
the last question, ladies? I don't know. Has that got a label on it? Is that me?
That's you.
Okay, we'll
Take
do
it
it.
away.
So Lisa, you have shared a lot and we thank you very much. And it's really exciting. And I'm now thinking I need to talk to you about this women's prison stuff because I do music. Maybe you need music sometime.
Yeah, we do music. We're always looking for
We'll
someone that can lead us and the women in song.
We'll do that. But we want to just give you we've had questions that we kind of told you before the interview, obviously. So real quick, give it, 30 seconds or something. Do you have a final thought for today that you could leave our audience, our listeners with?
I do. So just, as anybody that's on here or starting to run their own business, which is mostly what people who are networking are, it's going to have its ups and downs. And you just need to stay positive. And if you have bad times, just know that those are always going to be times for growth that are going to make more good times down the road. And I would definitely say if you're on the bubble to joining a networking group, it's a good idea because it's a great opportunity for you to not only build your business, but you can help people build their businesses. Just go into the group and be yourself, and let people see who you are, because you can sit and talk, but that doesn't mean they know who you are. You've got to build relationships if you want them to trust you, and you need to know them before you can trust them as well. So I guess that's my advice.
Awesome.
With that, I think we could almost close it, don't you think?
Well, yeah. Well, we want to thank everybody again. Did you have a final thought, Jennifer? Or
Well, no, I mean, I think we have to have Lisa come in every week and be our cheerleader and tell us about the prison ministry. That would be really awesome because it did give goosebumps. No, we always, the serenity prayer is one of the things that we try to not throw in there, but it's God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I think if this pandemic has taught us anything, it's exactly you do what you can do. You don't try to change, you just accept and you go forward. And if, like she said, if you're meant to connect with her, you'll connect with her because she gave us like 20 ways you could connect with her. But if for some reason it's not meant to be, accept that and go and find somebody else, but don't find anybody else because there's nobody. I think you're our first realtor to have on our show. Really? It's kind of like,
I think
really?
so too.
I think
Yay,
so.
yay, Lisa.
So-
That's awesome.
Yeah, you did a great job. We knew you would be a great guest. So nope,
Yeah,
that's
that surprises me because I'm so introverted. I'm not one that likes to publicly talk or
I
any of
never
that.
would have known. You hadn't mentioned
I know.
yes, you did a great job. You did a great job. Take it away, Nicole. I'll let you
Okay. Well, thank you again. Thank you, Lisa and Dawn. And so our website, www.ttrnetworking.com. We're going to have notes underneath our show for information, more contact information, all that good stuff. And we look forward to many more conversations to come. And until next time, may all your days be filled with authenticity. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
you all.
you.